The purpose of this presentation is to talk about cultural diversity in organizations. Cross-cultural training is necessary in every work environment to identify and highlight the types of training methods that will emphasize the need and understanding and how to motivate people of vastly different cultures to work together in any environment. Training can be divided into two main categories: cultural specific or cultural general training. This can provide information to participants about what they might expect in realistic social situations and shared knowledge about behavioral expectations. While this type of training might be helpful for someone moving abroad and likely interacting with people from one geographical region, it may not be as effective for someone regularly interacting with people from a variety of different cultures in their native geographical region. As we move forward, we'll talk about the need for cross-cultural training. The purpose of training is to promote a more inclusive and productive work climate by educating employees about all cultural perceptions and potential biases. This directive will encourage respect and effective communication amongst diverse teams. The goal is to reduce workplace bias and discrimination while increasing teamwork, set to improve overall employee satisfaction and morale. This goes for all businesses that look to incorporate a more inclusive and diverse work environment. Next, we're going to talk about what is cultural diversity. Cultural diversity is the representation in one social system of people with distinctly different group affiliations of cultural significance. Most workplaces now have various cultures and ethnic groups, representing them within the business realm, so understanding the need for cross-cultural training, or also referred to as CCT, has become a necessity for all businesses to foster a more cohesive work atmosphere. As businesses become more globalized, it is important for all businesses to understand the difference of all cultures and how bringing them together can impact the work environment. Some of the great sources, theories, and conceptual training guides that were used in making of this video were Cross-Cultural Training in Industrial and Organizational Psychology. Ariel Lelchuk, great author who captures a lot of the sources and theories of why this education and training is required. Cultural Diversity in Organizations, Theory, Research, and Practice, a wonderful book by Taylor Cox, Jr. Theoretical Perspectives, two important concepts: culture shock and cultural distance, as covered by the great write-up that was handed out to us during the class. Cross-cultural training can increase interactional cultural diversity in the workplace by enhancing organizational strength through ethnic unity, team building, and cross-cultural understanding. It can also enhance cross-cultural training and acceptance of cultural differences within the workplace. Last but not least, it can increase cultural awareness training through lectured conventional training or selected training aids, which will bring to light and help those employees bring forward or any undiscovered biases that they feel they might not be aware of. Some great training and delivery methods that can be used to cover cross-cultural training are in-person workshops, which provide interactive and engaging learning experience through facilitated discussions, activities, and simulations. Online modules offer flexibility and accessibility, allowing employees to learn at their own pace and on their own schedule. Webinars offer a virtual platform for live or recorded presentations and discussions similar to this. Blended learning combines different methods like online modules and in-person workshops to cater to various learning styles. Employee resource groups, commonly referred to as ERGs, which provide a platform for employees with shared characteristics or experiences connect, support each other, and advocate for diversity and inclusion. Mentorship and buddy programs pair individuals from different backgrounds to foster relationships and share knowledge. And on-the-job training integrates diversity and inclusion principles into daily work through coaching, feedback, and mentoring. What are the overall objectives? The objectives are for all employees to be trained, whether they're sections, departments, leaders, managers. Training is always ongoing. How do you measure the success? Conduct climate assessment at the beginning of the training to see where your current climate is at. Is it challenging? Improve the climate through cultural understanding and awareness of personal biases and individual perceptions. Of course it's going to be challenging. Some people aren't susceptible to change. What is the objective? Challenge all individuals to acknowledge their personal collective ideologies and try and transform their mindset. Grow, change. And in the end, you want to conduct a follow-on climate assessment 6 months down the road to measure any change or to see if your program was a success. As stated previously in the previous slide, how do you measure success? First and foremost, you want to conduct a current climate assessment or conduct a diversity audit to determine what is the mindset of all employees within your organization. Determine what the organizational needs are based on the results. There are several platforms available online that can be used to conduct climate assessment. See below in the hyperlink. Anonymity of all employees is very important, as this will allow employees to remain anonymous while providing honest answers and actual feelings or opinions in response to the current organizational climate. What good is an organizational climate assessment if you're going to use names or particular answers to provide results that could be biased or skewed? Once your organization has completely assessed their initial organizational climate assessment, the results can be used to conduct employee training based on climate assessment results. Diversity and inclusion training encompasses various programs aimed at promoting a more inclusive and equitable workplace. These training types can be broken down into two types of training: awareness-based training and skill-based training coupled with leadership training. Let's talk about the first type of training, which is awareness-based training. Awareness-based training consists of unconscious bias training, which helps individuals identify and address their own unconscious biases and stereotypes that can affect their decisions and interactions with their coworkers. Cultural sensitivity training equips employees with the knowledge and skills to understand and appreciate different cultural norms, values, and different communication styles. Disability awareness training focuses on increasing understanding, empathy for individuals with disabilities, promoting inclusive practices and accommodations. LGBTQ and inclusivity training educates employees about LGBTQ issues, promoting a more inclusive environment for individuals with diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. Basic diversity training introduces fundamental concepts of diversity and inclusion, emphasizing the importance of respect, empathy, and inclusive in the workplace for all individuals. Moving on, I'll cover the second type of training, which is skill-based training. Skill-based training is inclusive for leadership training, focuses on developing leadership skills to create and maintain a diverse and inclusive work environment, addressing systematic barriers and promoting equitable practices. Communication and collaboration training enhances communication skills and collaboration techniques to foster effective teamwork among diverse groups. Conflict resolution training equips employees with the skills to address and resolve conflicts that may arise from cultural differences or misunderstandings. Last but not least, active listening and empathy training develops the ability to actively listen to and understand diverse perspectives, fostering empathy and mutual respect among all employees within any organization. Cross-cultural training can be conducted using a Variety of resources and materials. Resources and materials required to conduct a training would be as follows: a PC or a laptop with a reliable internet connection, a classroom, either conference or training, a diversity audit or climate assessment with results to pinpoint specific training requirements. Make it more than one round. Continued education is always important. Avoid passive training. Make training hands-on and inclusive, including all cultural groups and ethnicities. And always use effective planning with viable resources that are reliable and conducive to your training. Last but not least, we get to the end, to where you evaluate your plan, analyze your success or failures, and know how to move forward with continued practices. Gather feedback and data. You want to conduct pre- and post-training assessments to gauge changes in knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors. This could include surveys, interviews, or even skills assessments. Collect the feedback from participants through surveys, focus groups, or individual interviews to understand their experience with the training. Identify areas for improvement and assess the perceived relevance and usefulness of the content. Analyze participation rates across different demographic groups to identify any disparities and ensure equitable access for training. Monitor workplace behaviors for evidence of positive changes, or sometimes even negative, in areas like equitable decision-making, psychological safety, and respectful interactions among employees. Track key diversity metrics like employee satisfaction, retention rates, and promotion rates to assess the overall impact of the training on the organization's diversity and inclusion efforts. Always continue these practices to include all cultural groups and ethnicities. This will overall continue to improve all areas of your overall work environment.